Grand Rising Nobles. This is Toneless Aljabe. And I'm in amazement after watching Todd Street Bay's video from last night. Uh, I mean, there was so much stuff on there that he revealed, um, especially the questions he was asking. The one about how much does a Bitcoin weigh? So, if you have not watched that, you should go to the website, the House of Reawakening Minds, and go check this out. I mean, basically, he talked about the situation that we're in now, where this corporate control is being exhibited by the so-called government, and people are beginning to realize some things. Now, this is not a new topic. I mean, if you studied The Matrix, uh, The Matrix talked about energy, batteries, that we are batteries. Uh, and that's really what these corporations are going after. You see, nothing in mainstream media is not planned. And it's planned by people who have knowledge that they're using against us. Um, because basically the method that they're using is a method of control, and it's a method of control used uh, by people who actually we have trusted in positions of power, really. Because if anybody else uses it, it kind of wouldn't matter that much. But these are people who are governing over finance, over food, over just a bunch of things that have to do with our lives, our everyday lives. Um, Governments, ministers, uh, priesthoods, all of them have knowledge. Okay, one of the things Todd said was that where the mind goes, energy flows, and basically education was replaced with erudition, or erudition was placed with education, and erudite means the truth. We were taught a system that was meant to deceive, really, um, and it was yeah, it's being administered now by governments, ministers, and priesthoods, um, and they use this method of control. Um, well, basically for their own good. I mean, they're supposed to be serving us, but instead they're serving us up like pizza. And basically, they generate this fear through this control. The control is basically through illusions and delusions that we have been trained in. We've been programmed in them. We don't even know that now. I mean, it's several. When I was a kid, TV used to turn off every night in the middle of the night, and you'd hear this tone like "ee," and they would say, "Thus ends today's programming." Well, they quit doing that, but I guess they were telling us then. I guess it always has been that we were being programmed. We didn't really pick up on that, but now it's become apparent because if you look around, you'll see that a bunch of people don't know anything. Cognitive dissonance seems to be prevalent. Uh, what would you call that? Cognitive thought even seems to be on the down decline. I mean, nobody seems to be. There are no books coming out that are deep in thought anymore. There's no. I mean, a lot of things have been eliminated. Manners have disappeared. Things that when I was a kid, everybody knew. Now nobody knows, like spiritual principles and how to adhere to them and what that means. And so we're witnessing the deterioration of society. Um, Ty said that the reason for this now is because after all those years of programming, what happened was we became programmed and thought that reality was real. That's the matrix. Okay, but reality is other than that. It's not just the matrix. Okay, but we got hoodwinked into believing that, and I, at about 35, had to like trash everything that I believed and start over again. I went to recovery, and I had to do that. I think a lot of people they're now having to do that same thing, trash what they believe in. And so a lot of people, and keep in mind, this illusion, this delusion, it's deliberate, it's structural, and it's institutional. Okay, this is caused by those people that earn power that know this information. They're using it against us. Um, and so, really, what these people now are suffering from is a view of a false reality that they think is real. Okay, and the view of the false reality destroys the true reality. It's a diversion. Okay, in fact, you're watching a lot of diversions. A long time ago, when controlling factors would control people, they would use a thing called bread and circuses. And Todd says that now, and that through the control of the bread and circuses, the crowd would become entertained. They would forget what they were supposed to be paying attention to, and they were easier to control. It was a what you call a lack of understanding that was created by the people in power. That's still going on today. Today's uh, bread and circuses are. Tosh said it's the football game or the social media or you know what I mean. These things that distract us from what we're supposed to be doing. So that at this point, people don't realize what they're supposed to be doing. They think what they're supposed to be doing is watching the football game and going along with what they're told on that little boob tube. So and of course, the people who are doing this, they keep the masses distracted. And you can govern them with fear as long as you keep them distracted. So, and you know, the reality is what's happening now is even with the distractions, people are beginning to realize that what they were told were lies. The demonology of government structure. And Todd said the veil is lifted, and now everybody can see demonology in government structure. This he equated it to the same thing that happened in The Wizard of Oz when Toto ran back behind that curtain and they lifted and they saw that what they were being told was one thing, but when they lifted the curtain, it was a guy back there pulling strings and shit. So that's basically what we got now. And one of the distractions is the Bitcoin. He was talking about the Bitcoin. He goes, "How much does a Bitcoin weigh?" You can't see it. It's not there, and everybody's it's 120,000. You talk about a swindle, and everybody's going along with it. All they're going to do is, like you said, because I've seen it happen before. Let it get up real high, and then they're going to crash that thing out and tell you, what happened? And where'd all that money go? Don't be stupid. So, anyway, what was it he called it? A shape-shifting instrumentality that you cannot hold in your hand with an artificial claim of authenticity, giving it value. Now that's a distraction. You know what I mean? So, anyway, don't be distracted, Starseed. We have a mission here, okay? It's to create 7 generations of safety for our children, okay? And to bring back, you know, happiness and joy. Look around you. Everybody's all unhappy. They're frowning, they're looking down, they're hating on each other and stuff because they've been divided by some central scrutinizers who think they're running stuff. But even they are having their asses handed to them because the real secret is that they have pissed off God. This has happened before in the Bible when they pissed God off so much that said, okay, I'm going to like ruin everything. I'm going to flood, I'm going to send fire, whatever. It's happened before. It's happening again. I don't care if you don't believe in God. You're about to see some real... it ain't got nothing to do with Christianity because God was around before Christianity, fool. That power is mad. Okay? Very angry with people who have been disobeying and just doing what the hell they want. You were given directive. Okay? Especially you humans, ones who have you. Okay? You were given a special power. We were supposed to be stewards of this land. We were supposed to be taking care of it. And many of you have sold out your brothers and sisters. Okay? So now the retribution of the Creator that you don't believe in is at hand. Okay? So, and I've been sent here actually to, as things change, to like recreate what was wonderful. I'm challenging each one of you, especially the ones with gray hair. You remember something wonderful that they don't do anymore. It was free. That's why they eliminated it. Bring that back. Bring back wonderful, okay? I'm bringing back the Soul Train dance line because I remember nobody would go down the Soul Train dance line and be unsmiling. even if you can't dance. So I'm bringing that back. Anyway, you bring back what you can, and Islam, nobles.